Got my glasses on just for you.
Yes, because you're teaching today, right?
Yes, 11 a.m.
Yes. Oh, no, I meant us.
I am? Oh, boy. I don't know. I thought we were just talking.
Yeah, that is what we're going to do. We are just going to talk. But I thought we could take everybody back to school.
Oh, I know about that book.
You know this one?
Yeah, I've read it once.
Yeah, once or twice, maybe. Yeah. So for everybody who hasn't, let's go ahead and just kind of set the stage for what kind of things we're going to talk about. Because we aren't just going to chat, but a little bit. This one is the Old Dog Lean, crossed out, Lean Thesaurus.
Yes.
So for everybody who messes with lien waivers, it's a nice play on words. And this was written by two of my favorite people and illustrated by two more of my favorite people. So that's Adam Hoots, Buddy, and then Jennifer and Alex Lacey did the pictures. So I love this, Adam. Okay, so you already kind of said you're teaching at 11. That won't be us, but what all do you do? That's everything, right? And then you're in a construction office right now? That's a lot.
Yeah. Well, so what all do I do? Well, I pray a lot. I am a husband a lot.
Okay.
I have 3 beautiful children. I have twin girls who are 19 years old or almost 19.
What? I didn't know they were twins.
They are, yeah, and they're beautiful, gorgeous, just like their mama. So, one goes to the University of South Carolina, which is Clemson's mortal enemy, and she's my leader rebel child. I wouldn't have it any other way.
You got to have at least one, right?
That's right. Amen. Yeah, she's going to make an impact on this world, and it's going to be awesome.
That's right.
And then my other beautiful daughter graduated high school with her cosmetology license and does all the pretty girls' hair is her claim to fame, her brand. So, yeah. And then I'm a father to my 14-year-old son who's a baseball freak, and he's actually on campus today. He's job shadowing me. So he may be able to pop in towards the end. He's at the baseball stadium walking it now.
Okay. Yeah, because this is part of the job, right?
That's exactly right. Yeah. He wants that to be his job. So he's going to job shadow himself for the future.
Okay.
Yeah. What else do I do? So I am also a full-time kidney patient. I've had 2 kidney transplants over my life. I failed at plumbing early on. That's a great story.
I never knew that one.
Yeah, I started in construction as a plumber's helper, and it was too hard. And so I figured I would go the general contractor route. Was able to be a GC for almost 22 years, and then started a lean coaching practice, and currently working as an owner's rep on Scout Motors, which is a mega project in Colombia. I do that 4 days a week. Mm-hmm. I am at Clemson the 5th day a week, co-instructing human side of construction and building high-performing teams, and at the same time trying to get my PhD and write this dissertation. So,
what's your dissertation about? Sorry.
You're good. Come again.
What's your dissertation about? What are you writing about?
So the dissertation is on how do leadership styles and emotional intelligence impact trust between supervisors and workers on construction sites. So
go big or go home.
Yeah, I mean, I'm convinced that in any business, but especially in construction, if we can measure trust on project sites, that performance and flow will increase. And I've got tons of case studies of projects I've been in, direct leadership positions on that have proved that. And so I am now going back to scientifically put that together. And the eventual plan would be, allow the dissertation to come up with the algorithms on how these soft skills impact trust. And then afterwards being able to develop an app that, we can measure trust on job sites from every single person. So, super passionate about that.
That's pretty incredible. So that's what I love, that people are calling them soft skills, because what I see happening now in, we'll just say, life at all, is those soft skills are really the most important, about staying somewhere or building those relationships that last longer than a 6-month job, right?
Amen, sister.
Mm-hmm.
And shout out to Jordan Leadham in the
That's what I
chat.
was
Like,
going to do. I was
I
about to
don't know
say, what's this? Leading the Old Dog. So that was kind of, that's kind of like the title of our book, right? Old
about
Dog leading Thesaurus. So what's that?
100%. And Jordan, shout out to you. You've been a ball of fire as you've come into the Old Dogs and just like really taken some leadership and ownership to drive it forward. But the Old Dog, right? So Buddy and I always had a plan with that Old Dog lean Thesaurus, and God rest his soul. I miss Buddy so much. He's my guy. Like driving home 6, 7 o'clock at night, he was my go-to phone call because I knew he was working. He was leaving the job too. Saturday mornings, Buddy always answered the phone, always on the job, and that just like I miss him tremendously. And
Yeah.
the Old Dogs are kind of have been very comforting to me because I can reach out and call a slew of them on my way home now, and it's a beautiful thing. But Buddy and I always had this plan, like, people are dying and retiring at a rate of 7 to 1 coming into this industry, and so that's leaving a knowledge gap that's huge. And a lot of that gap has to do with those soft skills that you were just speaking about, and not trying to dominate a conversation or tell everybody how things have to be, but very neatly manicure the situation such that everybody has a piece to put into the puzzle, and we solve things together. And so the Old Dogs, we've got kind of this 5-level plan, and the first level was, hey, let's just get together bi-weekly and have lean coffees. Somebody bring a problem to the table, and you'll just get a bunch of old dogs that are able to troubleshoot it, try storm it with you. So we checked that box. We've been going for almost 4 years now, and it's been nonstop. Every 2 weeks we get together, we host a lean coffee, or it's the first and third Thursday of every month. So if you want to join and check us out, let me know, get a hold of me. I'm not hard to find. So that was level 1. Level 2 is, hey, all these beautiful minds in the Old Dog group, y'all got to write books. Like Buddy and I proved that we can do that. And we know how to, you're holding it, it's tangible, right? And so that's, Buddy and my knowledge pulled out from a lean perspective, one in the Lean Geek, which I got to own and drive home, and then one from an Old Dog perspective who's, seen a way, but learned another way. And an old dog doesn't have to be old. I do want to clear that, right? Like you can be an old dog means, hey, I've done it the traditional way, didn't like it. I really want to try something else. And that definition of an old dog. And so Sam Sinclair, right? Like shout out Sam, just released about a month ago his book, Brace Me. And it is a guide on how to lean leadership. Yeah, it's these soft skills again that, he was able to take from his career, what he's learned, put it in a book and share it with the next generation. And that's going to live on forever. And that's huge. And so then the third level, right? I do some lean coaching services. I am not a consultant. I'm very, right? Because consultants seem like they have the answers all the time, or they got this tool that can fix it, versus a coach, which I am, is able to be on the sideline, have this arsenal of tools, understand, hey, my quarterbacks may be running a little faster. And so maybe I want to give them some new cleats, not, a new arm to throw, right? So understanding like who's good at what. And so I've been coaching for a while, and the level 3 of the Old Dogs is, hey, let's bring old dogs in to coach with me and go make that impact and give that information. And that, comes to school as well here at Clemson, right? And so that's level 3. Level 4 would be a cross-company mentorship program. And that's essentially what we're establishing, right? We're a senior superintendent in Washington can mentor a project engineer in Florida for a completely different company, and you can really get some cross-company learnings that way. And then level 5 really being, hey, just plucking knowledge at every one of those other levels and introducing it into our own AI machine called
Ooh.
Chat GPT, Chat Superintendent, that would
Oh,
to help junior folks provide some context and get maybe the next 3 or 4 rightest steps that they should take. So some advice, some information, maybe logistics planning, those sort of things. So I'm telling you, the old dogs, we've grown to a group of 20 or 30 now. We have a website. We've got, truck talks on YouTube. We're putting out, hey, we learned this as we were coming up. You should know this too. We are going to fix this gap of knowledge in the construction industry. And it comes from us just mining our own minds and being willing to share that with the next generation. So.
I love that. Oh, okay, so big one. That was a lot. Yes. And look at, and you're going and doing the things.
Yes. Oh yeah. 100%.
Okay. So a couple of questions here, and I'm going to end up back at the lean coffee. Actually, that's where I'm going to go first because I'm so excited. So lean coffees were one of my first introductions to lean construction at all. And so I thought this was great because it's kind of a nice way to, I don't want to say like sneak people in the door, but you get these unsuspecting folks that are like, well, sure, I'll drink a coffee. Now, I personally wouldn't drink a coffee, but I would follow Jen Lacey anywhere. So
yeah, me too.
Yeah. So I followed her into her room. Other people had coffee. I had fruit, which was great. So if you guys are ever doing stuff like that, even if it's after 5 and you've switched to brewskis, make sure that we're including some things for the other folks who may not be there for the liquid libations, right?
Yeah, I like it.
So we love fruits and vegetables, or at least
the
I
other
do.
Half. How the other half lives. I love it.
Yeah, the other half. So yeah, sometimes it might be a donut, right? But we'll keep that to ourselves. So this was great, but it was a big conference room, right? And there were people from, like you said, all different kinds of companies, right? And that's rad because it's in lean construction. We're not only just trying to break down the silos within our own organizations, right? But then what happens when we open up our knowledge doors to people at other companies?
The Toyota way, that's what they do, right? Yeah. They bring people in and they say, hey, this is what we're doing. Do you have any feedback? Could you help us? Yeah, absolutely. And for whatever reason in construction, we stay so closed. We are not an open sourced industry whatsoever. And that stunts our growth. And it's proven in the statistics. We're the only industry in the last 60 years to have a decline in productivity versus everyone else 600, 800 times improvement. So we got work to do.
Yeah. But I'll tell you, that's what makes it so exciting for me is because there is so much opportunity for those types of things. Right. And then to see them happen and to see people pick up those batons and carry them to the next one, it's just incredible. So we're all in this room. We've got different people from different companies. And then my next favorite parts are kind of related. It reminded me of conditions of satisfaction, right? Where we're asking the room, hey, what kind of problems are you guys having or what would you want to work through today? And then you vote.
Yeah, everybody has a say. What?
Yeah, what?
That's pretty cool. Yeah, we throw a bunch of topics on the wall, describe the topics a little bit, and then you get to go vote on what we talk about. Like,
yeah. And if you have time, you get to do another one. What?
Yeah. Yes. Well, yeah, that's how we roll. We actually use the Lean Coffee Table, and it's a wonderful application. It costs like $10 a month, but you put a link out there, and anybody can throw topics in, and then the same process. Like, hey, we go vote, and then you hit start discussion, and it automatically segregates it and does it. Oh, it's a wonderful program. Oh,
I love this one. This is reminding me of I think it was Steve. And I'm going to blank on it more. I think it's his last name. But
yeah, Robin Thornton.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure he was responsible for, or at least we're going to assign him responsibility today for the feedback app that I'm trying to think of.
Oh, the Plus Delta app.
Plus Delta. Thank you.
All the time. I love that app too.
I love that app. So when we get done here today, I'm actually going to drop it in the chat because for free, you can literally ask for feedback. And it makes it, for me, it kind of takes out we'll say the sting, right? Because all we're asking for is science. Yes. What was a plus? What was a delta?
Yeah. What added value? What should we do more of? What
Mm-hmm.
didn't add value? What should we not do anymore? Like those are beautiful ways for us to improve what we are doing on the regular. So yeah, I'm a huge fan of that app. We use it everywhere we go. I mean, in class, on job sites, yeah, getting feedback's important. And I think this is part of it. Like, if I'm giving you feedback, Maria, it feels like that feedback's between me and you.
Mm.
But if I'm able to like write it, put it up on the screen, now it's like, hey, Maria, this is like, I'm kind of seeing that. Right.
Yeah.
So it takes the direct interaction out of it, and it allows it to kind of be us against the feedback, if you will.
Ooh, okay. I love this because that's kind of what we were saying is that it makes it into like quantifiable science, like items, right?
Yeah.
Like, hey, we didn't start on time, right? Or whatever that thing was. Or I could have used another hour on this particular material because it was so complicated, right?
Absolutely.
Or
Yes.
could we workshop this? These are not bad things to say to somebody, but like you're saying, it's a little bit awkward if you think about somebody's level of courage to go up to an instructor, maybe even they just met or they don't even know, and to say, hey, by the way, I wish you would have talked less about X and more about Y. And so it takes that personalization out of it, and really for me raises the courage, because then you can also respond anonymously, right?
Yes, and they've got the upvotes and everything else, so you can really see what was trending through. Yeah, it's a wonderful way to receive feedback. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right. So then I guess since we teased everybody with conditions of satisfaction, I'm just going to fill in a couple of sentences and then we can pick a new one if you want. But so the same way that we're talking about like voting for different things, right? We're asking the people what they want and what they need and what's good for them. And then we're saying on the Plus Delta app, not only that, once the idea is out there, somebody can put a like and say, yes, that one again. And so you're getting that additional place of feedback. And so the conditions of satisfaction, I love doing actually before every class. I'd be curious if you've ever done it before a class, Adam.
Yeah. It's baked in my process. Absolutely. Because if I, as a coach, go in there and tell them what they want to learn, that doesn't ever work, right? So if you're going to get buy-in, maybe ask the question, hey, what do y'all want to learn? And then you can take what kind of those other tidbits, and deliver to them something that will actually add value and something that they're after. So 100% every coaching session, even in classes, we start with, not every class, but at the beginning of the semester, we start with what are those conditions of satisfaction, because y'all are paying us a lot of money to be here.
And so what do you want to make sure you know before you leave here? Man, the money I would have paid for somebody to ask me that back in the day, right?
The money I would have paid to hear your answer to that.
Yeah, that would be even better. You have to think too, especially with the way that, the roles of college is changing. And we talked a little bit about how many folks are needed in the construction industry. And I'll be the first one I don't care what you are, a recruiter or accountant or whatever. The first words out of my mouth, if you're having a hard time, is, have you tried construction? Right. And like so because it doesn't matter what part of the construction industry you're trying to help. If your skills are in marketing, we love that. We also need marketers. If you're an accountant, we love that. HR, same thing. So all of these roles can be really, greatly pursued. I was just thinking of we're talking about all the opportunities that you have for improvement, right? And the things that you can take and be proud of can all happen in construction. And so that's a really powerful thing when you think about some of the other companies that people try to get jobs at, right? Like the Googles or other people we don't want to name on a show, right? To get them any attention.
Yeah, well, I think that's construction is a business, right? And there are a lot of things that are businesses out there that you can get jobs in. That might be Facebook, that might be music, that might be it could be a bunch of other things, but there are accounting, financial, project management, those sort of things. Look who just walked in.
I was going to say, is that our intern?
This is our intern for the day. Yes. Look, he's got baseballs. He just went to the baseball.
Let's see.
He found some.
Oh, nice.
So this is my son, Kai. Hi, say
Hi,
hi.
hi.
That's Miss Maria. Miss
Thanks for
Maria.
joining us. We heard you were an intern for the day.
Yep.
Okay. So how's it going so far?
I haven't really done anything, just walking around.
I hear you. So you've done a lot of observing, right?
Yes.
Okay. This is good though. What are you hoping to get out of today at the end of today? What do you hope it'll feel like or be like or something that you get to do?
Just meet the people in this class. Just see what he does for the day.
Yeah. That's valid.
Yep.
Build relationships, see
Yep.
things. It sounds like you're on your way.
Yeah.
Pretty good. All right. Well, we wish you luck for today, and we're glad that you could stop by for this to be included in part of your intern for a day, because this is part of it.
Yep.
Yeah, live stream is his first live stream too, by the way. So
Oh, so we'll do some more snaps. Sorry, we didn't exactly have time for consent. We just kind of saw you and got excited.
that's all right. That's I do that all the time too. When I see him, I'm like, yes, I don't have to take out the trash. Yes, somebody else can clean my truck. Yes, beautiful.
All
Anyway.
for a small fee, right?
Oh yeah, always small. No fee. Yes, absolutely.
Well, we've got to get in, somewhere. I actually read a book back in. I know it's already shocking. I read a book besides this one, but I think it was college time. Okay, and so it was actually about life insurance, whole life insurance to be specific. So we'll give a little plug while we're here. I know I've done a lot of things.
I don't know where we're going. Yeah,
I know, but we're gonna get there. Yeah,
Right.
I have that. Yeah. Thank you for your belief. I appreciate that. So the premise of the book was that, and this is just a little side financial knowledge for everybody, so you can get in. This is only good information for whole life insurance, and I will have to give the disclaimer that I personally am not licensed or authorized to give this type of advice, but I can share some science with you. So I read this book, and the idea is you buy the whole life insurance policy, and the IRS does a nice little limit. They call it a MEC limit, MEC. And what they're saying is, here's your policy premium, but you can put a little bit of extra in there if you want to. You just can't put more than that MEC level, because then it's going to turn it into an investment. Okay. Mm-hmm. So your whole life insurance gets, back in the day, it was like 6 or 7%. Nowadays, it's more about 3%, which is still a fair number, right? But for about 3%, you can put your money into a whole life policy. And the best part about it is you can borrow from yourself. So here's the whole point of the story, is that when you borrow from yourself, do you pay yourself back?
You can, I guess.
You could, right? But the whole premise of the book was, even if it is you, or even if it is for your family, right? Asking for the money, you take the loan out from yourself, you have to pay it back. And not only pay it back, but pay it back like you were a bank.
Okay. Yeah.
So you throw some interest on there.
Yeah. Okay. I like it. Yeah.
So there you go. So that was the whole point, is to, if you're gonna charge a fee, even if it's to your family, you still got to get that money.
Yeah. I like that. There's lots of ways to get that money from the family, right?
That's right. That's right.
I choose free labor. That's what I choose all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. While they're under 18s, a pretty good place to be. We use a dry erase board to keep up with how much money I owe her. So
nice. I like
so, but very good. Okay. So that was your free financial tidbit for the day. If everybody's still awake, we can go back to leave. Okay.
Well,
so
compounding learning, compounding interest, it all kind of plays out the same, right? So,
it does, because the more you know, the more you grow, right? Isn't that what they say?
Yes.
Okay. So I tried to reread some of this book in the past few days, right? And like you were saying, I don't know how ready I was or not, but I really enjoyed. We'll see if I can say it while still saying with my full face and chest here. It was really awesome to hear from Buddy. right? And so this is, when we're thinking about and encouraging others to write books and different things like that, you could be somebody's favorite person. And so once you leave your words down forever, right, then those people get to enjoy you years later. And, let's shout out ourselves too for future selves, because just because I've already read this book, and I tried to read it again this year, and in a few years, I might read it again, right? And so each time I'll be a different person, but this same book and the same information is going to hit different. So it's a really powerful thing. And if anybody's sitting there thinking quietly to themselves about writing a book or not, it's me and Adam telling you that yes, you should.
There's so many tools out there that can be used to help you. Again, as long as it's your content, as long as you're the creator, as long as like YouTube, you can go figure out how to publish on Amazon, KDP, like this stuff. It's really easy these days to put your knowledge down on paper. And guess what? One person might read it. And that's a beautiful thing because you help that person. So there's absolutely no reason, no excuse not to document what you've learned in your time on this earth and pass it forward 100%. And like you said, Buddy I'm honored to be linked forever with Buddy, and he's still impacting people beyond his life on this earth. And that's special.
It is. And it's especially fitting for a special guy, right? So these are all good things. And I want to say, to give one more plug for people who are sitting here thinking about writing. Even if you don't think it's enough to fill a whole book, because this is still a decent size, amazing book, okay? But even if you think you have less than this, that's okay. People publish PDFs all the time. It doesn't have to be a full book. It could be something specialized that you are just really passionate about that you want to make sure that somebody else gets to learn. So even if it's just a little bit, put it down and put it out there. And like Adam said, the ripples
of impact. Yeah. And if I can elaborate on that too, you can use big font to get that many pages, or you could record yourself, or you could write a blog. Like it doesn't have to be a book, but you can document yourself in some way such that it can live on forever. And there's so many tools and ways to do that these days, there's just no excuse for not investing in others the way others invested in you. So.
Yes, that part. And I'm sorry, I was looking through the book because I just wanted to find a quick example of like using up a whole page.
Yeah.
Right. So you can draw pictures. You can have somebody that's really special and near and dear to you who maybe loves art be included in a construction book. Right. So this is the kind of stuff we can do. All right. So Adam. And look at that. Show me again. That was the bottom of your cup. I thought it was a plug this whole time, but it is a plug, just a different kind.
Yeah, sorry, it's a little dirty, but no BS.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking about the other kind of plug. That's funny. Mine's on my luggage, so I know when it comes down the barrel, that one's mine.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was a good time. Okay, so I have told you that I love lean coffees. This is how I first got introduced. We've talked a little bit about this book, how to share the things that are inside of us with others. What other kind of things do you specifically, Adam? Like, what are your favorite? If you had to pick out 2 or 3 or even one, what kind of tool that you've learned and that you keep in your little box there that you'd want to share with everybody?
Yeah. So as a leader, and it's currently what I'm working on every single day, and actually with you once a month as well, Miss Maria, we have, shout out Byron, my guy, movie star down there. I love that man. I love what he's doing too on LinkedIn. So cool. Like putting out those learnings all the time.
Nice.
Yeah, back to your question though. Me and you actually are working on it together with Jennifer, Jesse, Sean, and several others. Right? It's my question asking ability. At the same time, it's my ability to be vulnerable and transparent, and to gracefully receive feedback. So those are 3 things that I believe are lean leadership in action. It's like lean leadership things that are tangible, that you can actually do to fit within the theory. So again, it's how do I ask open-ended questions such that people are able to think and not just pass a test by saying yes or no or red or green. And then, being able to be open, vulnerable, and transparent, like sharing my son on a live stream like that. Yeah. Was a little uncomfortable. I don't know if y'all felt it, but I did. And but it was cool. Like he just developed and learned and grew a little bit.
Yes.
So that's special to me. And that's vulnerability that, again, it's just not practiced, cherished, rewarded in the construction industry. You're supposed to have every answer. You're supposed to drive it. And it doesn't always happen that way. And then lastly, it's receiving feedback, right? And this has been a hard one for me because every time I get feedback, I'm like, yeah, well, but I did that because of this. And well, what if I did that? And, Jesse has taught me the only applicable answer for feedback is thank you. I appreciate your feedback. And that's because we're conditioning other people, whether or not they're going to give us feedback again, or they're going to be like, every time I give that person feedback, they justify it. They really don't want it. So I'll skip that this time. And so those are three things that for me, again, sharpening my axe daily on, and definitely intentionally strengthening that muscle monthly with the emotional bungee jumper group.
Yeah. And that was a good one. Was that just Friday?
It was last Friday. Yeah. Or maybe it was the Friday before. No violations, right?
Yeah.
Ever.
That was a pretty good time. And this, okay. So we've got a couple of shouts.
Nice.
Apparently, we're here to see Dr.
We're getting there. We're getting there. Nelson's in my class too. Yeah. So Cody was Whiting Turner. I love missing Cody.
Nice.
Building information modeling is his game, man. VDC. He's what I like to call a bimbo. No offense, Cody, but those BIM folks, man, the things y'all do to help make our life easy later on, I love it. And Cody's had an awesome career. He's up in Raleigh, directing construction technology, actually. So he'll be a wonderful person for you to connect with too, Maria, and just see what kind of things he gets into because he's a special human being. And then Nelson, in the class currently and just on fire, like standing up, wants a better industry. All the way from Ghana, he has traveled on his own to be here. Like it's just a really special, want to go get it human. So yeah, I love it to this. And not quite doctor yet. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but we are marching in that direction. Yes.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. As soon as you get the check mark on your paper, right?
Yes. And then I won't tell anybody because I think construction is the only industry where you become a doctor and people lose a little respect for you. So.
Hey, I know. We probably shouldn't have talked about it. Okay. But while we're there, let's talk about it. Okay. So I noticed this when I was at Robinson Morton, right? I didn't feel it so much when I was at the roofing supplier, but I was in a closet. I had an office. So people didn't work about me. Ooh, here comes it. It looks like Byron's going to get in there with us. I love this. Okay. So I know we were just chatting. So I was at Robinson Morton years old when I found out that there really was
this Robinson Morton years old. That was like.
Yeah. And I was started observing, right? Kind of like your son today and just going, oh, right. So I went to school my whole life and it was, we'll say conditions, right? Part of the environment was that, oh, well, you're going to a private school, right? And all of this. And so then, of course, before I even got out of my private schools, I was feeling a little meh about it. Right. And so it's like, because everybody was so snooty about it, I guess. So I totally get the image, right. That they're fighting against everything. But then I know that not everybody I went to school with is like that. Right. We call it maybe haughty. Right. the audacity of those folks with the paper.
Yeah.
And so I started seeing this gap and I was like, oh, golly, it comes down to a breakdown between the office and the field a lot of times, right? Because you've got your accountants and your CPAs, and we love y'all, but you're a little dry, right? And you're lacking a little bit in the soft skills. They didn't have those in school. And so we're having to pick those up, even though we're in construction. So that comes down to bridging the knowledge gap between the office and the field, right? You hate me calling, you hate me emailing you, and you don't want to know that you're 45 days late. Okay, fair. Here's you an automated report, whatever. How can I support you? Right? That becomes the question. How can I support you? Because putting in your own little reports to see, well, you didn't do this yet. You didn't do this yet. That's not helping anybody. And nobody cares that you can see it, right? And know that it's not right. There's obviously some kind of gap there. And if it's a how-to or a conversation or some kind of like relationship building where we can do that. So let's see what Byron's saying. He says, this may be a generational thing, but as an elder millennial, I identify a little bit. I feel like we're a lot more comfortable including our offspring in our journey versus missing the important family stuff just for work. Kudos for including your son, Adam. Yeah.
Nice. Well, I appreciate that, Byron. I'll tell you one thing I've been really thinking about a lot is, this life balance, this work-life balance thing that everybody tends to be thinking about. And I think I maybe approach it a little bit different, and I might upset you, Maria, here with this comment.
Oh, no.
It took me, working 15 years of 60 to 80 hours a week in order to get where I am, to be in the seat that I am right now. And it was by no accident. It was by design. My dad made me a plumber early on to instill that work ethic in me. And that's what it took to get here. And then I look at other transformational leaders like Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos or other, like them or not, right? The things that Elon did for Ukraine by giving them internet through Starlink, right? You think about the things that he's able to do, and had he been focused on this work-life balance, I think those things don't happen. And so I really start to approach this life balance thing as, how are we balancing not our life, but other lives? How are we impacting other human lives? And you know what? That might mean you have to work 60, 80, 100 hours a week to make that happen. And so, and when you can synergize and include family in that, it makes it easier. When they get pumped up and excited. And, I kind of want to draw this back to your comments a little bit ago. Like, construction is such a socio-technical business, okay? And that means you have a social side, sociology side of it, and you have this technical knowing how to construct things. And we're really good at constructing things. We're not so good at the socio side, right? And I believe this has a lot to do with the lack of females that are in our, women in our business. It's 11%, 4% on tools, and that's embarrassing. But it also has, 40% of our workforce also being immigrants from other countries, primarily Spanish-speaking Mexican folks, and they don't look like me. And unfortunately, a lot of the leaders and supervisors in the business do. And so that creates this, empathetic problem. Like, how can I don't have the cultural intelligence to be empathetic. And I think these are big problems in our lives right now, and things that we really have to have open conversations about. And once we do, I believe that social side will come. And that's why I'm studying leadership styles, emotional intelligence, and trust, because these are the socio things that, quite honestly, as men in this industry, we don't know. Like, personally emotional. I'm not good at that.
Yeah.
We need it. And I believe it, when I that helps me bring my son. Like, now I have to be real, because when I go home, he gets to hold my feet to the fire now. So And it's a good thing because I need more of that than most people, right? And so, I look at it as like the technical side being a very scientific side. Like there is a way to check that box.
Yep.
That's the right brain, right? And then you get into the left brain, and now you're starting to talk about arts and architecture and emotions and feelings and that sort of thing. And we have to have this full, well-rounded personality, brain, thinking process in order to be successful on a job site, because it is more about convincing or inspiring people to do things that they might not want to do than it is knowing what they need to do.
Ooh, yes. Yeah. So it's not in me to say you should write a book about plumbing, but it is in me to say, if you're thinking about a book, you should do it. Right. Yeah. And so there's differences there about, I don't know what your book is going to be about, but if it's on your heart, you should put it out there. So
that's the best way to get buy-in. Don't tell them what to do, right? Don't you as Nicholas Bodig taught me, you push form and you pull content, right? And so we have a way, we have guidelines, we have parameters, but then we pull that content out of the people. So.
Yeah. And this is playing in my head for free. Jen says it a lot, but are you watching their hands and feet when you're on the job site? Right. Yeah. Because for me, it's about, when we're talking about even like bridging this gap, it doesn't matter. I could have the best, like you're saying, if we want to go back and use a famous example, right? If I'm Elon Musk, that's great and all, but how am I going to share what I have to say? How am I going to make sure that the people who are going to hear me are going to hear me, right? And so there's a big difference between having things to say and then having people listen and then follow and be inspired, not even following, be inspired to then pick up that baton and go themselves.
Yeah, it's inspiration, right? It's motivation. It's having the words, the rhythm, leadership such that nothing's beneath me, servant leadership, right? I love Jesse's. He's a selfish servant. That's huge. I love that concept.
Yeah. And that's a good one. Okay. So then so for some of folks who may be new to this concept of even servant leadership, then what would be, how would you define selfish servant leadership?
Yeah. So I think it's a reminder to not forget about your own oxygen mask, right? Like it's okay to be a selfish servant for the good, right? Like that's I have some ways about me, right? Like I can persuade people, and that persuasion can be used for good or for bad. And I define good and bad. And so I think, right, we want to service to others is the ultimate goal, right? Self-actualization, being able to get up Maslow's hierarchy of needs to that level where I don't have to worry about my next meal or if I'm going to be welcome, but I can actually focus on fixing the future. And so to do that, you must serve others. But in order to serve others, you must first serve yourself in a way that sets you up to serve others. And so that's what I mean when I hear that selfish servant to others. It's that's why my purpose on this earth is to serve the trade workers in the construction industry. And I'm going to do that by impacting leaders and helping projects schedule better flow and then increase flow once they get there to do the work. And so as long as I keep that at my forefront, I will continue to serve others relentlessly, but myself first.
Yes. So, and to just kind of help everybody, because I remember the first time I was flying with somebody for the first time, and she had a kid, and they were doing the announcements about the oxygen mask. And she will almost like got out of her seat and was really excited about the fact that they wanted her to put her mask on first. And she's going, "You think I'm going to not put my kid?" And I was like, "Ooh, okay, well, if you're passed out, who's going to put your kid's mask on?"
But let's be honest, though, if those masks drop, guy's getting it first. I mean, even though I know better, it just, I don't know. What if, I don't know. Yeah. What if mine didn't have oxygen in it and then he can't, I don't know. It's a hard thing.
Yeah, it's a hard thing. And so I think for me, if I was going to just lightly long live this one, okay, because I am here for the builders. So thank you, Aaron.
Yes.
Long live the skilled trades. Yes.
Man, they're
Yes.
so hard. God bless them, right? Oh my goodness. Yes. Amen. Love
They
it, Aaron.
do.
Thank you.
They do. And so, but to that point, like what Adam's saying, I feel that in my bones. I'm not, even when I was in the consulting world, right? And I still do a little bit of just, but it's helping. So what I see going on in the industry is all of these tech things, because we were underserved, right, in technology for a little while. And so there was this huge tech explosion, right? They've got a platform for this, a platform for that. We've named even 3 or 4 while we've been here, but we really love them. And so that this is the part that I like to think that I'm doing, right, is to serve them so well that they don't get had by a salesman or saleswoman. And that they get the proper platforms that's actually going to help them do their work with their hands, right?
Mhm.
And get them to dinner on time with their family. So those are the kind of things that make me excited in serving those builders, because to Adam's point, what would we have and where would we be without indoor plumbing or something similar, right? Even the building that goes around it.
This world relies on skilled trades, right? Doctors don't heal, teachers don't teach, and judges can't instill justice without skilled trades having come before them. So yeah, everybody's dependent on skilled trades, yet nobody understands the conditions and lack of respect that our skilled trade workers are dealing with in a broken system that they have zero control over. So we have to fix that, period.
Yes, period. Because I love indoor plumbing. And I love my indoor plumbing so much that I love the plumber. And what can I do to make the plumber's life easier? Right. So it's a different kind of way. But to that point, I'll share this one with you. It was probably, okay. So first off, my best friend has her doctorate. Okay. So we'll leave that there. But she studied people and big feelings and emotions, right? So she's like a fancy clinical psychologist, help you with therapy words. I think that's great, but I end up being her best friend, right? And so what it comes down to, I think for me, is how I felt. Maybe like, what year is it? I think it was about 2022. Okay. I remember being I think I was still Robinson Morton, because I remember being out of town and I was talking to her on the phone. I was so excited to get like 30 minutes to talk to her, right, without kids. And so I was like, oh yeah, okay. And so here's what I tell her is that it finally feels like how I love you, talking about my best friend. So I was telling her, I finally feel like I love myself the same way that I love you. And so that was an interesting paradigm shift for me, because we talk about, self-confidence, self-esteem, whatever, those little things, and they talk about just waking up one day and you're different. Right. And so I had just woken up one day and I realized that I now loved me the same way that I love the people I love.
How did that happen?
Right. I'm still working on it. When I figure it out, I'm going to write it all down and put it in a book.
Like some of your own advice. I love that. That's awesome.
No, I'm taking your advice. Can't take all the credit, but yeah. So that was I would say, Adam, short answer, it was a lot of intentional and very intentional things that I did and would do for myself, right? And so we're talking about you got to start somewhere. They say self-care is not all funds and things, but for a lot of times it can be, and it is, right? So buying flowers for yourself, that's a good one. Taking a bath, right? All of these things. You can go for massages. So how would you take care of somebody that you love? And so even if you're not there to where it feels that way for you yet, that's okay. Just pretend like you're your best friend, you're your mom, you're your wife, whatever that person is for you. And what would you do for them? What would you do for them on a sad day? What would you do for them on a great day?
I'm thinking about what I would do for myself, and I would challenge myself to do something else.
Because you have the extra time. Yeah,
we're working on that one. I might let that one. My plant. You planted the seed. We might have to fertilize it a couple of times. How's that sound?
That's it. That sounds like a plan. So that's why I used to say I'm in the business of leading the horse to water, right?
Mhm.
But I'm in the business of planting seeds. Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
Been
Amen.
watching them. Let's see what we got. One more from Aaron. Absolutely stellar. One of my favorite words. To run into you again, Adam Hoops. Big burly hugs, brother. See? So this is awesome.
Yeah, and he does the music too, right? The
He does
jam
the
out on
music.
LinkedIn Lives. Yeah, I love hanging out there.
This is the, let me see if I can get his tag name right. And if he's, Aaron, if you're still on, I'm trying my best. But I feel like it's the Soul Man.
Yeah.
Isn't that him?
I believe so. What is it, Aaron? Tell us.
Aaron, drop it in the chat because this one's good. And I always notice that it's usually at times of the day when you can get there, right? Like sometimes they'll be at 7, or like on a Friday or something like that. Now, some of you might actually have lives and plans, but for someone who stays inside, I quite like it.
Yeah, it is Soul Man Live. I just saw it out there.
Yeah, okay.
Soul Man Live.
Like I can't forget that one. That's a Soul Man. So I always hit yes, and then hopefully it reminds me later on the technology. So very good. Okay, so let's see if we can do a summary recap and anything else that you want to holler or shout out. Ooh, I know one that I want to shout out at the very end. I want to make sure and tell people how they can see you next because you're going to be places to do things, right?
I do things. I go places like Texas often.
Like,
LCI stuff. Yeah, I mean, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I host a podcast too. I don't think I told people, but the Lean Builder, Hoots on the Ground with No Bullshito. Yes.
Okay, those are some good tag words. And
anyway.
Then he says still here. Thank you, Soul Man. Okay, so we talked about lean coffees, right? So one of my favorite things about my time at Robinson Morton was if you can just find one activity, one thing to do with people, then that can be fine. Lean coffee is a great example. And then you can at least start conversations, right? Which would take us to sharing things. So vulnerability, trust, honesty, relationship building. These are the ways in which the current companies in construction are going to be making it to tomorrow. Right. And then serving others so hard that you serve yourself first so that you can serve from a full cup and make sure that we didn't exactly talk about this one, but feeding the hungry.
Yeah. Right? Oh, yeah. That's all we do. Yeah. Why feed the full?
Yeah. Yeah. That's just gluttonous, isn't it?
Yeah. It develops bad habits, right? I mean, yeah. And then you wonder why you can't get by it. People aren't hungry, so they're not going to eat.
Yeah, yeah. And can you blame them? I don't want to stuff myself.
No.
Yeah. Perfect. And we said, I just want to say it again because it's such a good one. Serving our builders. Okay. Yeah. Serving the builders. So that's what it's all about, folks. It's not about any of the other things they tell you about. Okay, so let us know in the chat because I think that's our summary. And so Adam, you're going to Texas, is that right? From the mountains?
I'm going to be in Texas. I'm going to meet the movie star Mr. Byron. That's right. Even though I hear California is out registering Texas for Lean Construction Institute, I don't know what's going on with that, cowboy.
I can't believe it.
We got to put our hats on, get on our horses, and get to that registration booth now.
Do that.
But yes, I am going to Texas, Arlington, October 20th. I get to play golf with a few old dogs. And then we get to go do a learning day, a little sweat equity improvement with Jesse, Jennifer, and Lynn Randall. We get to co-host it together. And then Wednesday, we got presentations, and I get to record a podcast live in front of a bunch of people. And then Thursday, I got a presentation with all the old dogs are coming to Texas, and we're going to show them how we're sharing and closing this knowledge gap. And then, Friday, we're just chilling. Old Dog's got a house. We're going to throw Sam a book release party. It's a nice house, basketball court, spa, all that. So I get to bring my wife too. Super excited about that. And we're going to chalk it up all week, learn together, be together, and just develop one another because that's what we do. So yeah, I'm excited about LCI Congress for sure.
Here we go. Texas is awesome. Just watch it at DFW. They love to change games.
Upfield, baby, Southwest. That's my goal.
So does SNA. I learned that one the other day. So this is okay. I know. Okay, we got one more from Aaron though. So from HVAC technician to late night mental health talk show host, and they said I wouldn't hoe places with skilled trades. LOL. I left that typo in there because it was kind of fun. You know.
I'm glad you read it, not me.
That's what I figured I had like female privilege this one time. And so I would use it hopefully in a good way. We'll find out later. So this I love this, right? And so and of course we got to put thank you. California love. That's what I thought.
I don't know. Byron's challenging him with a recount request there. We may have
so we're gonna get right to Byron, but we just have to shout out that California Love is an amazing song, right? And we love it. We need a recount. Byron, we'll work on that, but I have a hard time believing that California is just not gonna completely win that one. So yes, we are. So it looks like Jordan, some other folks are gonna be there. So this is really exciting. And look at Aaron. He's just got all the good things to say. Celebrating the liberty of service.
Yeah, perfect example, prime example of being a servant leader, a selfish servant leader right there. Like podcast host, mental health, soul man, like just constantly providing others. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, and to do it in construction and for the skilled trades.
That's hard. Yeah, to take that onus and leadership. You're different, and I love that.
Yes. Yeah. That's exactly what it is. So we're thank you guys for joining in on us with us today. We had an incredible time being different and weird, and we enjoy all the different people that showed up today. So it's a powerful place out there. Yes, and our star intern, thank you so much. We wish you well today.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for having us.
Yes.
Super appreciated. Love just hanging out with you. You never cease to just make it interesting. And I think that's the most awesome part about you. So thank you for having me. And I value you as a person. Thank you.
Oh man, I appreciate you and I value you and all that you're doing for our industry because it's so awesome. I love construction, and like Aaron's saying, the places we'll go, and everybody would have thought that we wouldn't have, right?
Amen. Yes,
Cheers.
ma'am. Bye, y'all.
Bye.